Hello everyone, I hope you can hear me okay. I'm having a little bit of a issue with the air conditioning within the office. If you can hear that small hum, please excuse it. For right now, I am working to sound a little bit louder so that I can speak over the hum in the office. So, good afternoon. My name is Victor Fuentes. I am your guest speaker for today on the topic known as immediate feedback. This is a series of quiz types that we'll be going over, and I'll just be speaking in for Taylor today since she asked me if I could do that. So let's just go ahead and let me introduce myself. My name is Victor Fuentes. I am a graphics, web design, and platforms intern at Kineo US. I have been shadowing Taylor for about 2 months now, and I have expressed my interest in the LMS platform known as Totara LMS, and Taylor had the great idea of asking me if I would like to guest speak for you today and go over what immediate feedback is and a couple of examples of what that looks like. So today we're going to be going over that, and let me just give you a small overview of what that looks like. So quiz type, immediate feedback, what is it? What does it look like? And how do I set this up? I forgot to add this in the beginning, but feel free to ask any questions that you feel like and leave it into the questions box below, and we'll make sure to address them at the very end. So let's just go ahead and start and take a quick look at what that looks like. So first things first, let's define what exactly is immediate feedback. Immediate feedback, which is similar to interactive mode, in which the student can submit the response immediately during the quiz attempt and have it graded. However, they can only submit one response, which they cannot change later. So this is a Moodle 3.1 documentation, as Taylor stated in her earlier video. This is fine. This is similar to what is Totara 9.0, or the equivalent of Totara 9.0. As usual, you can always look into your Moodle documentation or even the Totara LMS 9 documentation as well. And feel free to change that if you want to. As she expressed in an earlier video, you can always change that to 2.7 just by adding into the URL 27. It should take you to that documentation. So if you have an earlier version, don't worry about it. Of course, you can always look into an earlier one, and for sure you'll find it. So let's just go ahead and start taking a look at what exactly is an immediate feedback quiz. So let's go to quiz example course, and this is from what a learner's perspective would look like. We're signed in as Sharon Cunningham as one of our learners, or the learners we usually use. And we're just going to take a quick look at what immediate feedback quiz is and immediate feedback after each attempt builds on the last. And we'll go over a couple of those settings and how exactly to set that up. So let's go ahead and start for the first one. We have our immediate feedback quiz. We've already submitted one quiz already, so let's try to reattempt a quiz and try to go and show exactly what the immediate feedback behavior looks like. So of course, when like I stated before, you can submit one answer or multiple answers depending on how the quiz is set up. So let's go ahead and answer a couple of these, or even all of these. Go ahead and check, and it should give you that immediate feedback right then and there. However, now you can no longer change your answers. So of course, that works for every single quiz question. Go ahead, answer something, check it. You'll receive that feedback immediately, and now you can no longer change it. So of course, this is a really great example of what would be possibly even training for employees if they had just gone over something really quick and you wanted your users to, or your employees to more or less have a quick quick test on what that looks like and where they're lacking in or what they could improve on. So always there's always many ways to go ahead and utilize this tool. So let's go ahead and start looking at also, I almost forgot, each attempt builds on the last. And this is very important because this is something we'll be getting into more in depth to. This is something Taylor we talked about earlier, and we went over that we will be getting more into the grade report as well. So be sure to look out for that series as well coming up in the future. So each attempt builds on the last. This is an immediate feedback. Each attempt builds on the last. We're going to go ahead and answer those questions, and this is something that's interesting, and this has to do with how your feedback is set up. As you notice, you do respond. You can no longer change your answer, but the feedback was not given, and we'll go over why exactly that is in our session today. So let's go ahead and look at an administrator perspective, and we're going to go ahead and look into the settings on how exactly to set up an immediate feedback quiz. So we're going to turn editing on. So we're going to need to edit. We're going to add an activity or resource. You're going to go to quiz, add. And of course, there are always required fields that you must fill out. And they are always marked with either a little sign or a little red something on the side of it. So of course, enter in something in. So this could be test quiz 1. And some really important features about the immediate feedback quiz is you're going to want to go into the question behavior, and you're going to want to go into the review options. So for this question behavior, to set up an immediate feedback quiz, you will need to go to How Questions Behave, click for Immediate Feedback in the drop-down, and as you know, we have an immediate feedback quiz at each attempt builds on the last. You can either choose to yes or no for that one. And like we stated before, and we're going to do a side-by-side to show you how exactly that looks like, we have here an immediate feedback quiz, each attempt built on the last. And if you remember, if we go ahead and change that or play around with a couple of the answers we've already done, and we check that, we no longer get the feedback. So that's interesting. So that means that there's something that's not exactly working, so we're going to need to go in and check that out. So you kind of have to like think and ponder what exactly could be the cause of the feedback not showing up. So you're going to have to look at the settings and just wonder what exactly that is. So we're going to look to review options. This part is very important because it shows how the feedback is given. So it can either be immediately after the attempt, later when the quiz is still open, or after the quiz is open. For an immediate feedback, each attempt builds on the last. It is important to remember that you must always make sure that these checkboxes are marked since the feedback needs to be given. So we're going to go ahead and look at that and look into that quiz settings as to what's going on and how can we fix it. So here's our immediate feedback. Each attempt builds on the last. We're going to go into those settings, take a quick look at what that is, and we're going to look into our review options, and lo and behold, these aren't checked. So let's go ahead and check those. Save and return to course. And we're going to refresh the page and see what exactly happens when we do. And there we go. Our immediate feedback is given. We can see exactly what we're missing, what words, and such. And now we are given feedback for what answers we entered incorrectly or correctly for. And we can do that with each and every one. So I hope this has been a small but interesting and informative lesson for you. We're going to open the floor to questions, and I hope that I have done my job to explain what immediate feedback is best to all of you. I trust that Taylor will help me out in answering these questions, and we're just going to be opening the floor to you. So if you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and put them in the box below. We'll start answering those now.